23. I'm 23 with a receding hairline. And, do you know, it you don't really think about how much it affects your confidence when you're talking to people because you kind of think you're like the younger version of like 20 and you have a full set of hair, but I do have this bald spot. And when I look in my mirror, I'm like, I see it vividly, and it does have that effect on me like, oh, I'm really not the person I used to be. But at the same time, when I'm approaching people, like whether I'm working or whether I'm just interacting with friends, I realize that and there's some moments where my hair, I can style it in a certain way that it doesn't look as bad, but it's coming to a point where people are like, oh, you should go bald like Mr. Clean or this, that, and the third. And I've tried derma rolling. I'm still working on because I've had parts of hope where like true science things have worked where I've kind of done the scalp, and so there is some type of hope. This is a sign for you. Like if you really feel this way, it does. I think I can make it better, but at this point in time, it kind of hurts because I don't really have the funds. I don't have the money to like really invest in what I really want for certain things because I've invested in so many different economies. Like I don't even know why, but the economy half the time sucks the daylight out of it. It's almost like I don't know why. I just gotta say it because just might as well. I feel like sometimes the economy almost like intentionally does it to men. Like they make the worst products for men's shampoo and conditioner, and then for the woman they try to like make it so. And I'm not trying to like generalize, but like it just seems like that in some ways. But it's a smart economic. You're trying to make the economics go up, but it's just ridiculous. You would think people would care more about the people instead of actually the product, but they're thinking more of the economics at hand. But I digress from that point. But I don't know. I really do want to figure it out in some regard. I'm 23, and I hope maybe by 30 I'll walk like maybe look like Mr. Clean and I'll rep it proudly. But at this point in time, I do kind of want to have an alter ego and go with like a blonde wig for like because I make music. I want to really go in that realm and have a good time. And I might look like a sane person, but for the content at hand and the sake of it, it might be a really cool idea to really venture out and do that. If you don't know, this is actually a live stream on my channel. I do make music most of the time, but I'm starting to venture out into just talking and lifestyle things because I think there's multiple realms to artists. There really is. It's not just one aspect. It's not just one layer. There's multiple layers, and it affects an artist because image is such a big thing. It's such a vital thing in that regard. Having the discipline to keep up and make the hair smooth, and it's not like, oh, I take a shower every day, but there's so many different elements like, oh, do I shampoo one year a day and then I do shampoo and condition, or like I've just overthought it every day of that because sometimes it'll be really dry, sometimes it'll be really like, oh, you want to pat it down. You just look at so many different conspiracies like, oh, am I actually doing this wrong? Am I really just messing up in so many different ways? And why is it using buffering? I don't even know why I was using buffering for a bit. I looked at the the stream, uh, but I'm still trying to have my smile. I really am kind of lost because I do walk in at job interviews and they probably look at me like, oh, this kid, like he has hope, but just looking at me, you're like, oh, I don't know. I don't know what really people think. I think I do. I really think I have this image of individually. I feel like I have an awareness, but at the same time, there's somewhat of a consciousness of when I talk to people. It's almost an out of body, not an out of body. I really like some moments I'm extroverted, some moments I'm introverted, and it's a weird concept to really construct in that manner. Wish people understood that a little bit more. Like people just think, oh, I'm just introverted. I know I'm just introverted. There's certain times, certain situations where while I'm with my boys, I'm the most extroverted. When I'm out in certain settings, like if I'm performing, I become extroverted. But when I'm in a group that doesn't make anything or people want to talk more, then I'm more introverted. But I do ask questions. I don't stray away from that. I don't stray away from any type of intricacies that people really give me on a day-to-day basis. My mind sometimes just flows in a million miles per second, so this is why like these live streams are really good in some regard. And also like I don't know, I feel like most of the time like And it's nothing. It's not deducting to any of my friends. It's just like most of the time, I don't want to give them the burden of like really talking about my problems because I don't feel like they're that big of things in that grand scheme of things. And I feel like I can talk to God to it, but at the same time, I'm just kind of in my own world, and I just feel like I don't want to like be egocentric. Even though, like in my mind, sometimes I'm egocentric because I'm like, I'm gonna be the biggest artist in the world, and that might be delusional to some people, but in some regard, I'm just like, I don't even know. I just feel it. I just feel like sometimes, like, whether you believe in religion or not, in my eyes, I feel like God kind of gives you the path of all these gifts, and you have the ability to deal with it. And I feel like God's given me the ability to make music at a large scale and express myself and not really care about. I care. I see the consequences, but sometimes I just don't really care because I don't care about myself as much. And I care about myself in a lot of regards more than most people do, because in men's lives, they only care if you really succeed. But, and that's also kind of alluding to what the hairline is. The hairline's like a symbol, it's almost your confidence. But I don't think it has to be that way. I really don't. I think it's more, I think hair is just kind of an illusion. It is in a sense, but like body language is way more important and energy is way more important than people give credit to. I really believe that, and I truly do. I think if you put out good energy, you can succeed in all different realms and avenues, and whether it's any industry, but it takes time, and you can't let people use you. You can't people let people use that goodness in you because you're also kind of looking, let's look at it in both sides, right? If someone's so positive, don't take advantage of that because they have such a negative side because they've been dealt those cards before and they don't want anyone to go through that. Like you look at Mike Tyson, he's such a peaceful guy now, but like you look at back in the day, it's like look at where he had to survive, like what experiences he really had growing up in that regard. Whether the grocery store thing, I do love the quote about him talking about God and the devil, like bring come home with the man that brought you home. And I pray to God sometimes. I'm like, hey, can I have my hairline back? Like straight up, like, um, I I've been humbled enough. Like my ego, I need to pray to you more. And it's weird. It's a weird dynamic because I've had it come back and then it's gone, and then I really, and it's not like it's in the sense of, oh, I want a girlfriend. Like I've had a girlfriend. I've had two girls I've wanted to marry in the past 2 years. It's been a crazy time, and I just I don't really think about marriage. I just want to have a relationship with God. And I keep trying to think in that construct of I don't want to think in the sense of like marriage. Hey, what's good, Ality? How you doing, man? I don't even want to think in that regard of like, oh, I have to with this girl because I don't want to think in lustful nature in so many different regards. And it's weird because a lot of my music that I've made in the past has been so lustfully encouraged because there was such an ultimate motive behind that. And what I mean by that is just it's so trying to convince that I needed to be a part of the world where I don't really I want to just like be myself and just express anything. That's what art is in my eyes, just expressing it, lightning in a bottle. Like this video right now, this is lightning in a bottle to me because I'll probably look at this in 5 years and be like, wow, like I've come such a far way, or oh, I'm delusional as hell, or just so many different little things. But at least record whatever you're going to record because that energy you had that one day, that negative energy is not, you're not always going to be there in some aspects every day. Elodie, I hope you're doing well. I love doing these like little segments of just a calm, relaxing actually vibe. I do enjoy having an LED light, but it almost feels too eccentric. I did have a speech for Connor. Or sorry, I probably even should say his name, but screw it. I posted on Instagram. You can check it out on Dennis Kane if you don't follow me. But it was just all these posts of the wedding photos, and I wrote this whole speech. I like woke up at 3 a.m. and I feel like God gave it to me, and I just wrote about just, you know what? I'm gonna read it to y'all. I'm gonna read it in the tone that I had. I think that's actually is gonna how I'm gonna end up. I was so focused on my hairline, and when I was looking at these photos, I was like, "Oh damn, my hairline wasn't as bad." To like kind of sum up the video, but I'll just read it because I think it's one of the best speeches I've wrote. And he just got married September 20th. So 3 years I got a this. Okay, you all ready? W's in the chat. Let's do this thing. 3 years ago, I got a call from Connor at midnight my time, 6 a.m. his time in Spain. He screamed into the mic, "I'm in love!" In my half delusional state, I said, "What, are you going to marry this girl?" Well, sure enough, I ate my words. Fast forward 2 years, we're on vacation in Naples. And 2 a.m., too many drinks in, and like two guys can only do at that hour, we start talking about love. I asked him, "Connor, what does love even mean to you?" And he stuck me with something. He said, "Love is when you kind of have a peace, challenges, you grow, you see the highs and lows, and it makes you into someone that you never thought you could be." A year later, I get another call from Connor, this time in New York, from New York. Connor's engaged. I heard all about the little details, from him driving back and forth to making sure he got the right ring size to the way he lit up about talking about Veronica. And that's when I saw something I'd never seen before. True dedication no matter what in someone else. What's good, Rohan? How you doing? Finishing up the video with the speech I wrote for Connor for the wedding. The reason I share these stories is because sometimes in life we wonder if all the effort is worth it. We put in the work, we wait, we dream, and we question if we'll ever get that moment. But today proves yes, it can be worth it. Because ever since Connor and Veronica first locked eyes in that airport in Spain, they've been building this moment together. So if you have a dream or love or a purpose, don't give up on it too quickly, because it might be worth it in the end. To Connor and Veronica, may your love continue forever. Peace, challenges that adventure forever. Godspeed. Cheers. And yeah, what the fuck is that title? I have no clue, but I gotta be honest and authentic. I think people relate to it. I think people would. I don't even care most of the time. I'm just gonna say as many vulnerable things as possible until it clicks with whatever it is. I always forget Z has the wrench. So Z, I'm glad to see you. I'm gonna try to be back on live streaming, even though I'm exhausted as hell. I kept trying to convince myself, no, I shouldn't do it. Like also that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to buy. I'm gonna go. You're gonna go? What the hell? You just came. What the? But I'll probably just end this video at 15 minutes and 2 minutes. But the one thing I do want to send off with this video is, if you do really have a receding hairline like me at 23, I think it's very important that you don't try to cover it up, but don't try to be someone that you weren't. Don't try to let your ego kind of go in that regard. Have confidence, put your shoulders up, kind of have your chest out, still be yourself. And I still don't think of myself as that type of person. Sometimes I feel like I'm 15 in that regard. You're mentally drained. Hey, no worries, Z. Take care of yourself. I think that's the most important thing too. Get sleep. Like, maybe this is because I've been stressing so much and I've just been up late at night thinking about too much. So Z, get some lemonade, get something, hydrate. I don't even know what you gotta do. Wait, I can't bust a nut. I gotta save that energy like Goku. That's the most important thing. So, and yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe I just been losing my hairline because I busted too many nuts. I feel like that's what it's kind of been, low key. It's got to make sense. Like, maybe it was just the energy drain. Like, that's how God designed it. It was like, if you want to really go in this, like, think about it. If that would be crazy, if that's actually the logistics behind it. But I don't think it would, right? Am I just delusional? Am I delusional in that way? I might be delusional. I am very delusional as hell. But, like, if we really think about that's a genius design by God. And in theory it is. I don't think anyone's going to even see that in real time. I don't think anyone in life is going to clip that. So it doesn't matter. That's why I think I'm just like, someone will forget. People will be on to the next thing. Like, they look at my big mega mind forehead and they're like shining and it just blinds them. All right, I'm done. All right, I'll be back tomorrow with a new video. I'm gonna start doing these videos. I love y'all, D Menaces. Dennis, peace.